Hello, 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 and happy Monday, everyone. It's been a hot minute, but I'm super excited to be here with you on the first Monday of July. For those of you who are here with me, say hello. I am also watching on my phone as well. And if you're not sure who I am and what you're watching, let me introduce myself. You are currently watching Joanne's Healing Within, and I am your host, Reverend Dr. Joanne Angel Barry Cologne. I am the founder of Holistic Fitness and Why. As someone who supports women over 40 in releasing emotional weight without dieting, while holding space as they gain confidence and courage to step away from their 9-to-5, outdated relationships, and old subconscious beliefs. All that being said, I like to blend astrology, numerology, and energy work into everything we do. Remember, the W in holistic is all about the total person. And here on Joanne's Healing Within, it's reminding you that it's so important to always check within to see what's going on as opposed to looking out for answers. So with all that being said, I'm super excited to be here with you today. And the topic of the day is all about, what is the physical pain saying? Is it your message? Is it your message? And there's a little flyer that shows all that information. I'm sure Bobby might pop that up so we can see that flyer with the intro on it. And if not, that's okay. There we go. There's the physical pain, a message. I'm loving that flyer. Anyway, so let's dive in. I want to do a card reading, give you some insight to all the energy that is taking place right now, because we have a lot of energy going on. And before I dive into the card reading, let's talk a little bit about the energy, shall we? Let's see what we have going on. We kicked off, or should I say, we ended the month of June with a lot of energy leading into July. And what does that look like? And what does that mean for you? Well, to start off with, we started the end of June with Mars entering Uranus on June 28th. Now, Mars is action. It's your boss energy. It's your leadership role. It's aggression. It's assertiveness. And with Mars sitting and entering into Gemini's energy, where it's going to sit with Uranus, this is giving you that willpower to have those communications, to start your podcast, to start that book. So that's the ammunition that Mars is giving us with Gemini's energy, where it sits in Gemini. Now, being that it is in conjunction with Uranus, and Uranus is chaos, it's the rebellion, it's the unpredictability, it's the disruptor. What shall we say? It's there to disrupt anything that's not in alignment with what it is you're here to be doing. So if for whatever the reasons you're starting to notice, as we are in the 7th month of 2026, you're starting to notice that you're becoming irritated, frustrated, annoyed, and maybe even feeling physical discomfort, that's just your body's way and the universe's way of letting you know that something is not aligned, which is going to be disrupted. So that's a big key right there. So next thing we had going on at the end of June was Mercury has begun its retrograde in Cancer. That takes place from June 29th right through July 23rd. Now, when we talk about Mercury, Mercury is connected to Gemini's energy. So this energy between Mars and Uranus in Gemini, and now we have Mercury retrograding in Cancer. I like to believe Cancer is about your shelter, your career, and once again, your physical body. So there's a lot of energy that's focusing around the physical body, helping you to become more attuned, aware, and awakened. I want you to remember those three A's: attune, aware, awaken. It's very important because we are going to be guided by our physical body on how to become more attuned and how to become more awakened so we can be aware of our perfect alignment to where we're actually going into. Because I believe if you followed me back in 2025, I was talking about this energy that we were going to be moving into a different timeline, and we would all be experiencing electromagnetic frequency upgrades. And a big part of the electromagnetic frequency upgrades is taking us into a whole different vibration. And that vibration is aligning us to our soul's purpose, to why we're literally on this earth. So again, think about Mars conjunct with Uranus. Mars is the action, Uranus is the disruption, and then Mercury in retrograde in Cancer is helping us to review what really is not aligned with our physical body, because our physical body is going to let us know when something's out of alignment. Things to remember. The next thing that took place, just a day after Mercury went retrograde, on June 30th, Jupiter entered Leo, joining forces with Venus. Now, we talk about Jupiter. Jupiter is known as good luck, good fortune, and the spiritual growth. But along with the spiritual growth, it's about your spiritual evolution. So, big lessons coming through. And now that it's sitting in Leo for the next 12 months, it's what's going to shine on you that's going to literally expand your ability to tap into your creativity, find your freedom, be more expressive, and again, travel between worlds. All of this is leading back into the fact that we need to be more aware of our physical body. Now, as I mentioned, Jupiter is playing along the lines of Venus until about, give and take, July 13th. And I think I have that date wrong, but anyway, I'll come back to that point. So we think about Venus. Venus is about your relationship with others, money, food, and once again, if you haven't heard it before, your physical body. So there's a huge emphasis on your physical body. Now, in addition to all of that took place at the end of June, here we move into July. And within the month of July, we are going to experience some more shifts happening that's really going to expand into our revolution, our evolution. And again, awaken, aware, attune. So on July 7th, I want to put this in order. On July 7th, which is what, tomorrow? Oh my God, just made the connection. Neptune, the planet of higher consciousness, speaking, preaching, and really taking it to the next level, tapping into your higher awareness. Neptune moves into retrograde in Aries. And Aries is your I am state, your identity, yourself. How do you identify as who you are? Many of you may be in the process of shifting gears of your soul's purpose, your career. And again, a big shift happening since going back to 2025 and even going back as far as 2020. And then in addition to Neptune retrograding, we will also experience on July 26th, we will have two shifts happening on that day. First one will be Saturn, the planet of karmic reset, restructuring, and also in regards to your foundation. And when I speak of foundation, it's not just your physical space, it's your physical body. On July 26th, Saturn will also enter its retrograde. At that point in time, we will have Neptune and Saturn in retrograde. And I just want to look at my notes to see. Mercury will also still be, well, I know at that point, Mercury will have gone direct at that point. So we won't have that worries. Anyways, in addition to Neptune and Saturn, shifting gears, we will also have the nodes. Now, our nodal nodes are about our past and our present. Moving out of Pisces and Virgo, where it's been for the last 18 months, and a big part of our physical body and our intuition, because Virgo is our routine and our nervous system. Pisces is our higher consciousness, our psychic abilities, our dreams, our imagination, and our sensitivity. The nodes are going to be moving out of that and moving into Aquarius and Leo. So now, if you remember what I said before, we currently do have Jupiter sitting in Leo for the next 12 months. So as Jupiter sits in Leo, joining forces will be Leo, the South Node energy showing up as well. South Node is about the things we need to leave behind, the things we have to let go of. So in order for you to really embrace that spiritual evolution, that spiritual growth that you're so looking for, your good luck and good fortune, you have to work on letting go of whatever it is that Leo, whatever house Leo sits in on your chart, so you could break free of that and expand into your newness. Now, the North Node will be moving into Aquarius, where Pluto is currently resigning for the next, 20 years. And Pluto is about endings, completions, death. And when I use the word death, I really mean the word death, meaning things dying off and even people transitioning home. And it's about your transformation. So there is a lot of energy taking place in the month of July. And let's not forget, July does carry the 7 vibration, and the 7 is all about going within, quieting your mind down, meditating, praying, and really seeking who you are from a soul level. So I'm going to pull this card, see what we need to know. The card flew right out. I think we're going to go with that one because I think that's positive. The card we have is leader. Oh, let's see, leader. And so perfectly aligned with when we talk about Mars entering Gemini's energy, helping you to really take charge in how you want to communicate, what you want to say, writing the book, getting a podcast going. This is your time. In fact, Gemini's energy is so powerful with all the AI stuff going on. There's no way of hiding from AI, just to put it out there. So we think about the number 55. That 5 energy is a big reminder that change is coming. Big change is coming. So if you happen to see the number 5 or 55 or 555, that's a reminder. Massive change is on its way, especially from July 2026 going forward. We are not going to be the same as we move into 2027. There are huge shifts coming through. And take a look at the mirror now to see how you look, because there's going to literally be an identity change for you as we move into 2027. Now, the card 55, which is 10, this is your soul's work. This is that Capricorn energy. This is your masculine energy. This is where you're going to put the hard work in so you can reap the awards of that Jupiter Leo energy over the next 12 months. Now, when we talk about 10, it's a 1 energy, which again falls back into that Aries energy where we have both Neptune and Saturn sitting, and they are both going to get ready to go retrograde, helping us to review our spiritual evolution and also helping us to review our structure and foundation. The color red is reminding you through all these changes, it's so important to ground your energy. Now, I'm going to leave it there for now because I do want to come back and talk a little bit more about grounding because it's going to play a huge role in the main topic of the day. So for now, let's just think about that for a moment. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we're going to come right back and dive right into the topic.
Let go of the past, free yourself inside. The power's in you, know
You caught me dancing, everyone. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'd like to welcome you. I am your host, Reverend Dr. Joanne. You are currently watching Joanne's Healing Within. Remember, everything's about going within to discover who you are as opposed to searching on the outside. That's the goal of the whole show. So, I always like to come back to the card because the card is always very important for us to talk about. And just to remind you, our topic for today is what is the physical pain? What is the message the physical pain is showing up at? I'm always screwing up the title. Anyway, you would think I didn't write the show, right? Our card, the number, the word leader. Leader as you are. With the Mars energy in Gemini currently is inviting you to really step up your game, is inviting you to write the book, get that podcast going, and be seen and be heard and really tap into your voice. Communicate. The number 55 is reminding you that big changes are about to come through and breaking it down to that 10, which is your soul's work that you came here to do. You will be doing things differently going forward. That's without a doubt. Now, let's talk about that red energy. When we talk about the chakras, your chakra system, the red is associated with your root energy, which is literally down right by your pelvic area. And we talk about our root energies, about getting connected to the earth so you can be more grounded. So that helps you to focus, be more productive, and be aligned more with prosperity and all that there is for you without having to stress yourself out and worry about like, when's the next deal coming in, or am I going to make that dollar? When you're in alignment and you're grounded, things just flow really easily and it's effortlessly. And especially if it's aligned with your soul's work. Now, if for whatever the reasons are, you're doing something that's totally out of alignment to your soul's work, because we are spiritual beings having multitudes of human experiences, your body is definitely going to give you the message that you're not in alignment. And what does that look like? How's that going to show up? It may very well show up as physical pain. Now, with all the energies that we're experiencing, astrologically speaking, and I really am hoping that you are paying attention to the astrology forecast that I offer and many other astrologers offer, because it's like the weather forecast. You know, knowing that it's going to rain out, you're going to want to grab your umbrella, you're going to put your hat on. It may be a little cooler than it's been for the last 3 days. You might want to wear a long sleeve. The same concept. Knowing where our planets are will definitely help you navigate and help you to be more aligned to what it is you're here to become. So when we think about this energy, the moon itself, which rotates every 2.5 days, currently is in Aries energy. And we'll be there for the next 2.5 days. And Aries, as the very first zodiac sign, it's the toddler, so to speak. So it's just learning how to like crawl and then eventually get up and walk and then eventually run. But it's your identity. It's how you identify on yourself. It's about your I am statement. I am, and then you get to fill it up. You might be the I am the author, I am the writer, I am the host, I am the mother, I am the teacher, and the list goes on and goes on and goes on. And it may also change over time. You may find that your identity isn't what it was. So I want you to really pay attention to the astrological forecast that comes through. And if you have questions, I'm always available where you could just send me a DM and say, hey, this is what's happening. And my rising sign is this, my moon sign is this. What can I expect? In fact, I'm just going to throw it out there right now. I do have a flyer that's about my astro readings. If you want to throw that up on the frame there, that would be great. I am offering astro readings now through July 26th at $99. So if you do have questions about astrology, about your chart, where you're going and where you're going to end up, this would be a perfect time for you to turn around and take advantage of these readings. There is a flyer. If it doesn't show up now, we'll come back later. No worries. Anyways, so when we think about the energy we're experiencing, where the moon is in Aries as we speak, and all these astrological shifts that's happening, and how it's connected to our physical body and what you may actually be experiencing. Now, I truly believe nothing ever happens to us, everything happens for us. So when you're experiencing discomfort in your physical body, that too is happening for us, not to you. And I too, I'm just like you. I'm experiencing some physical discomforts as well. Now, as I mentioned, when we talk about the root chakra and it being associated with your pelvis, we're going to start there. When we talk about the pelvis, which is basically where your hips are, well, especially for my women and men too, for that matter, your hips tell a story. Your hips store all of your emotions from your childhood to your past life and, of course, current. And if there are anything going on in your life that you're not addressing, then your hips may show up as being stiff, may show up as being tight. You may find that you have so much pain in reference that it prevents you from actually walking because what really is happening is the muscle from the butt muscle becomes very tight, which is sacrum, and is often mistaken as sciatica, which is really not. It's your piriformis muscle, which is your butt muscle, that gets so tight because there's so much pressure, so much tension sitting in your hips from all the things you need to make decisions on, whether it's your decision or global decision or family decision. You're holding on to things that you may no longer have control over, and now it's showing up in your hips. Now, as a holistic personal trainer, I work with clients every single day who come to me, whether it's for training or Reiki, in regards to being in distress. Their body is literally in distress because of their hip issues, their, the tightness that shows up, having a challenging time walking. In fact, having a challenging time walking could also be a message in reference to what is it that you're afraid of moving forward on. Because when we think about your legs, what is your legs for? Your legs, the main purpose of your legs is to take you from one place to the other. So the question that you need to ask yourself, because again, this planetary shifts we're seeing, how it affects us globally and personally, what is the next step that you may need to take, but you're choosing not to take, or you're afraid to take, or you're hoping you don't have to take? So this is what I want you to pay attention to, because you may be consciously aware of it and unconsciously aware of what is the cause to why you're feeling this discomfort that's showing up in your leg. Now, understand that when we are experiencing the stiffness in the hips or the buttocks, that's going to run down your leg where you may feel discomfort in your knee. Now, knees are about flexion. It's about flexibility. Think about it. Your knees bend when you walk up and down the stairs. Your knees bend when you bend down to pick something up. So the question that you might need to ask yourself is, am I being too rigid on a decision? Am I being too rigid on a decision? Or am I being too rigid on this particular situation? Or is it that is whatever it is you are being rigid about, is it yours? The knees and elbows have the same meaning. The only difference is between the knees and elbows, the knees are about literally moving. So it's about what are you resisting in reference to taking the next step. Reference to the elbows, it's about what are you holding on to that you have to let go of. So when we think about how your body is speaking to you, it's not about running to take a pill or going to your doctor to feel better, even though it's not that I'm saying not to go to a doctor. So the disclaimer here right off the back is if you're experiencing discomfort, of course, by all means, go see your physical therapist, go see the chiropractor, go see the massage therapist, go see your acupuncturist. Heck, come see me for some Reiki talk therapy, because all of that is going to help. However, if you're not addressing the root issue, which really sits really low into the earth's energy, your discomfort is going to become more intensified as the energy becomes more intensified. So I want you to think about that just for a moment. So we think about our hips, which is associated with the root chakra, and stemming down into your legs, your knees, about being too rigid, down into your ankles, into your feet. Now, our feet, again, what is our feet for? Literally, we're standing on our feet. That is our foundation. That is our foundation. One foot in front of the next to take us to where we have to go. How many of you are holding on to a job, a relationship, a situation that is outdated? That could very well be the question you need to ask yourself as we move forward with this energy. Because again, with Jupiter transiting in Leo's energy for the next 12 months, and the South Node transiting in Leo's energy for the next 18 months, this is really about reviewing that past energy, self expression, finding your freedom. And that freedom really sits in regards to anything you're holding on to that's really outdated. It's time to let it go. It's time to take your purse. For my ladies, you're gonna totally relate to this. Take your purse and turn it upside down and shake it out and let everything out of that purse and take a good look at what you're holding on to and only put back in your purse what you're going to really use over the next 24 hours. Anything you're not using within 24 hours does not go in your purse because you no longer want to carry the emotional weight in your bag. You want to let it go. So I'm going to leave you with that for now. We're going to take a quick commercial break and we're going to come back and talk about the rest of the body. Let's have that commercial break. Did you know that astrology and numerology are the keys to helping you raise your vibration, understanding your unconscious behaviors, and will help you discover who you are from a soul level? Hello, I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, the founder of Holistic Fitness located in Queens. You're a certified and licensed holistic personal trainer, holistic integrated teacher, Reiki master, medical astrologer, master of numerology, card creator, and card reader. I would love for you to come join me every Sunday for 12 weeks to discover your astrological and numerology makeup. For more information, email healingwithin76@gmail.com. I look forward to helping you bridge the spiritual and physical realms as you experience a body and soul transformation. Hello and welcome back. If you are just tuning in, you are watching Joanne's Healing Within, and I am your host, Reverend Dr. Joanne. We're going to dive right in because there's so much to talk about in today's topic. We are really talking about the physical pain that shows up in your body and the message that it is sharing with you. The primary goal here is to remember that when the physical pain shows up, yes, of course, if it lingers on for more than 7 to 14 days, notice I didn't say if it lingers on for longer than you can stand it, to go get yourself checked out. Reason why I'm not saying that is sometimes pain is going to linger on for about that 7 to 14 days and even 21 days before it starts to move. And a big part of that is because your body is experiencing shifts just like our planets are. Every part of our body is associated with a specific zodiac sign and, of course, a specific planet as well. So when we think about this energy, and if you were not here before, and just tuning in, you're definitely going to have to come back and rewatch. And you can rewatch this on Facebook, YouTube, Roku, Amazon Fire TV, Twitch TV, and you can listen to it on Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Audible. So know that you can always come back and re-listen because there's a lot of information, a lot of nuggets I'm putting out to help you better understand what your physical pain is actually sharing with you. So you're not rushing off to try to put a Band-Aid on it because all you're doing, if you're rushing off to take the painkiller, go for that treatment, maybe even get a gel shot, all you're really doing is putting a Band-Aid on the situation, and it's only going to cause that pain to become more intensified as we continue to move through all this electromagnetic shifts that we're experiencing. So again, we talked about the lower part of the body. The hips are the biggest part of many women's issues because of decision making, because that's what our hips are all about. It's about making decisions. What decisions do we need to cultivate, clear, and release? And then as we move up into the body, we move up into the sacral energy, also into the solar plex energy. So solar plex is about your gut knowing, your intuition. And what may be going on there is maybe you're feeling a little bloat, a little bit of constipation. Now, let's talk a little bit about constipation and what it actually means. We know constipation medically means that you're not having a bowel. Constipation also means where are you stuck in your life? Where is it that you have just decided that this is what it's going to be? I'm not looking to make any changes, and so it is. And if that is the case, that could be the very reason why you're feeling this weight that sits in your midsection, where you're just holding on to it because there's a decision that needs to be made. And through all this energy we have going on, especially with Mercury in retrograde in Cancer. Now, why do I say Cancer energy? Because Cancer as a zodiac sign is about the gut. It's about your gut. So for those of you who do have strong Cancer placements, rising sign, sun sign, or your moon sign, you're more prone to having digestion issues. Now, when I speak about digestion issues, it's about food, of course, like how are you digesting your food, but then also how are you digesting life? How are you digesting your conversations? How are you digesting reflecting? Are you reflecting? Are you taking the time as we change the calendar? We moved out of June, which was that 6 month energy, which is all about your routine, your schedule, your nervous system, your health. And now here we are in the 7th month, which is about, again, taking time to go within, taking time to quiet your mind down so you can hear the messages that come through in prayer, sitting quietly or going out into nature and taking a walk, not necessarily with your headphones on, but taking the headphones off so you can literally hear what's going on around you. We are, as humans, we are so used to being distracted by whether we put the TV on as back noise, or we have the radio on as back noise, or we have headphones in our ears. However, we're missing the big messages when we have distraction behind us. So in the 7th month, this is a perfect time to start reflecting. But like I said, with Mercury in retrograde in Cancer, those of you who do have a very strong Cancer placement, you need to pay attention to how you're digesting what you're digesting. Now, do keep in mind, we all have Cancer in our chart. We have 12 houses, and Cancer may be sitting in one of those 12 houses, and whatever it may be for you. And of course, if you have other planets in that house as well, there's more to that story. Now, the other thing I want to bring to your attention, although you already know this because I've said it so many times, is when we think about Cancer's energy and Mercury retrograding in Cancer, Cancer is ruled by the moon. So every 2.5 days, the moon is shifting. So right now we have the moon in Aries, which is the identification. Who are we as we identify? Next 2.5 days, the moon is going to move into Taurus energy, which is about your physical body. So we're going to be more pronounced on our physical body, the relationship we have with our physical body. Now we talk about Taurus energy. Taurus is about the throat, communication. It's about your thyroid. It's about your neck. It's about your shoulders. So as the moon moves into Taurus energy, pay attention to how your throat feels. With the moon in Aries, it's about the head. So you may be more prone to getting headaches or finding you having sinus pressure. All of that is related to that Aries energy. And I want you to follow along because, again, the information that I'm sharing with you, they're downloads of information I'm sharing based on what's showing up, on what needs to be heard. Because if I go through everything, we're going to be here forever, and we don't have a lot of time to be here forever. I got to be very time conscious of what it is I'm sharing. So whatever it is I am sharing is because whoever is watching with us live or watching later needs to hear this. So again, Aries moon is amplifying your head because it's about head. It is where it is really about being headstrong, and you may be experiencing headaches. You may experience migraines. You may feel pressure in your temples. Taurus, as the moon moves into Taurus energy, that's the throat, that's your thyroid, that's your shoulders and neck. So pay attention to this energy. And by give or take the end of this week, the moon will move into Gemini. Now, when we talk about the moon moving into Gemini, there's going to be a lot of energy with the moon in Gemini playing along with Mars and Uranus. Gemini is associated with our arms, our hands, and our fingers, and along with our nervous system. So, again, as the moon transitions from one zodiac sign to the next, you need to pay attention to how your body responds to it. And if you have a strong house in any of the specific zodiac signs I'm mentioning, you may be prone to feeling whatever it is that's showing up. So again, our arms and our hands are what are we carrying? So if you experience elbow discomfort, wrist discomfort, fingers discomfort, maybe arthritis in your fingers, maybe you're experiencing carpal tunnel. All of this are messages that your body is trying to share with you to pay attention to what's showing up. So just to recap before we go to that commercial break, as we talked about, we're talking about Mercury retrograde in Cancer, which is about your belly. It's about constipation. It's about how you're digesting life. It's about bloat. Maybe your midsection is just holding on to things you're not digesting. When we talk about Mars and Uranus in Gemini energy, Gemini is all about what you're holding on to, what you need to release your tension from your fingers, let go of the grip a little bit. When we talk about Aries, where the moon is currently, that's your head. It's your head. It's how much are you thinking? What are you thinking about? Are you overthinking? Are you over processing? Maybe you need to just quiet your mind down. And as the moon moves into Taurus energy over the next 2.5 days, let's not forget that we do have Chiron, the wounded healer, sitting in Taurus energy. So here, for those of you who do carry a Chiron Taurus, and we all have Taurus on our chart, so it really is about reflecting on the relationship you have with money, with food, with other people, and wherever Taurus is on your chart. The conversations you either are having or not having. So we're going to hold that thought right there. We're going to take that quick commercial break, and then we're going to come back and talk a little bit more. Let's have that break.
Step into the light, you're more than you know. A spiritual being, letting your true self show. Release the weight, feel your spirit rise. Breaking through the limits, it's time to fly. Let go of the past, free yourself inside. The power's in you, no need to hide. Fall in love with your soul, let the healing begin. You're the master of your life, it's time to win. Holistic fitness, it's your transformation. Body and soul, a new foundation. POST method, breaking every rule. Empowered women, making their own moves. In the mirror, see your strength and grace. Midlife is just the beginning, a brand new place. No more dieting, just freedom in your mind. Releasing the emotional weight.
Hello and welcome back. I'm always dancing, and you're always catching me while I am dancing because that commercial is just so catchy. I don't know if you pay attention to the words to the commercial, but that is my song. Yes, my song that is created from my bio. Anyway, if you are just tuning in, you're definitely going to have to come back and watch from the beginning because we're literally at the end. I am your host, Reverend Dr. Joanne. You are currently watching Joanne's Healing Within. Remember, everything is about going within. If you want to know anything about anything, you have to go within. It's the process of where we all are. And a big part of what we're talking about today is really about the physical pain that's showing up in your body is a message. And it's really important to start paying attention to what your physical body is trying to tell you so you can work through the messages. And as we have it, finalizing this energy, where again, I spoke about the Aries moon, I spoke about Mars and Uranus sitting in Gemini energy, and As we move through the week, the moon is going to move into Taurus, which is all about how you speak. It's about your thyroid. It's about your neck and shoulders. When we talk about your neck and shoulders, I want you to remember that neck and shoulders, you ever hear the expression, I should have done this, I should have done that? Well, it's time to put the should haves down, because is what may be very much causing all that tension that's sitting in your neck and shoulder. And that very well may be creating a lot of the tension that runs down your jaw. And that could be the reason why you might very well be grinding your teeth. So understand everything has a message behind it. So let go of the shoulds and allow yourself to let go of the grip that you're holding on to on whatever it is you're holding on to. As I mentioned before, for my ladies and even for my men, take your purse, take your suitcase, turn it upside down, take it out, whatever, everything that falls out. Look at everything you have in your bag and only put back in your bag what you're going to use within 24 hours, which means every single day you're going to clear out your bag and your bag is going to become lighter because you don't need to carry everything in your bag. Your bag is a representation of what you are literally carrying, emotionally speaking. And sometimes we often heavy stuff so it can help ground us, which brings me to another point. When we talk about this energy in this moment of time, with your weight, whether you're carrying excess weight around your midsection, maybe you're carrying a little bit of weight on your hips, maybe you're carrying some weight on your arms. All of this is an indication to what are you ready to put down? Because once you are ready to put down the emotional component to whatever it is, emotionally speaking, you will then begin to notice how your body will start to reshape itself just by letting go the emotional connection to the weight. So as we move up to the body, because I really want to get all the energies here. We spoke about the feet, the knees, the hips, the belly, the throat, the shoulders, the head, fingers and arms. We really pretty much covered it all. I really want to bring our attention to the back. The lower part of your back, your middle part of the back, the upper part of your back, which we covered that. The lower part and middle part of the back, that is your structure, that is your foundation, that is support. And something you may need to start looking around and seeing who is your support group? Who is your support community? Who are your cheerleaders? Because if you're not feeling supported, that's where you may very well be feeling that discomfort that shows up in your back. If you're not feeling supported, lower back is also financial support. So perhaps you're not trusting a process. So you may not be feeling like the finances are flowing. It's so important to just trust and know that everything is in perfect alignment to wherever you're going. Otherwise, if not, that's where the back discomfort comes into play. We want to work on clearing all of that out, letting it all go. So, again, as I mentioned earlier, I can sit here and talk to you about all the zodiac signs and what each zodiac sign is associated to each part of the body, but we'll be here forever. What I do want to remind you is that whatever the physical pain is, wherever it's showing up in your body, if it's your hips, if it's your stomach, if it's your arms, if it's your head, whatever it is, this is your time now, as we are in the 7th month, to really quiet yourself down and start moving your body. Now, when I say moving your body, yes, get outside into nature, go for that 10-minute walk just to move your body. Then get in the habit of moving your body through stretches, like laying on the floor or laying on your bed. I recommend laying on the floor though, because it's a nice hard surface. And bringing yourself up into bridges. It's a really great way to open your hips and also strengthen and decrease the pain that you may have sitting in your lower back. What I come to know to be true when working with clients like you is that most women and men experience lower back and hip discomfort that's strolling down their legs. So it's the lower extremities that's creating a lot of discomfort. Yes, there may be a handful of you that's experiencing the discomfort in your shoulder, in your elbow, in your wrist, carpal tunnel. Rightfully so. It's time to put it all down. It's time to become aware, pay more attention to how your physical body is showing up for you. And remember, your physical body is truly your messenger. Truly your messenger. So pay attention to that. Have that as your reminder. And do not be so quick to get rid of the pain. Be more mindful of what the pain is trying to tell you. because your pain, your body is your biggest messenger, and the pain that's showing up, boom, boom, is the message. So again, as I said earlier, the 3 A's: awaken, aware, attune. Attune yourself to become more awakened and aware to what your body is actually telling you and what's going on planetarily speaking, and what shifts are happening and how your body responds to whatever those shifts are. We're going to take that last commercial break, and then I'm going to come back and give you a final in regards to all the things I have created for you. So let's take that break. Did you know that astrology and numerology are the keys to helping you raise your vibration, understanding your unconscious behaviors, and will help you discover who you are from a soul level? Hello, I'm Reverend Joanne Angel Barry Cologne, the founder of Holistic Fitness located in Queens. You're a certified and licensed holistic personal trainer, holistic integrated teacher, Reiki master, medical astrologer, master of numerology, card creator, and card reader. I would love for you to come join me every Sunday for 12 weeks to discover your astrological and numerology makeup. For more information, email healingwithin76@gmail.com. I look forward to helping you bridge the spiritual and physical realms as you experience a body and soul transformation. Hello and welcome back. If you are tuning in, we are at the final stretch. I'm your host, Reverend Dr. Joanne. You are currently watching Joanne's Healing Within. We're going to dive right in. I have some amazing activities and events going on just for you. And we have some flyers. So we're going to start off with Meet the Author. If you are in the Queens or 5 boroughs, I would love for you to come join me at New York Sports Club. All the information is there. All you got to do is email me or message me to get more details and to reserve your spot. That's taking place on August 9th, and reservation date is July 26th. So I look forward to seeing you there. Our next big one is Get Featured. If you are a writer, you have a specialty, you're an expert, I would love to have you become one of our elite contributors. For more information, the email is there. Feel free to reach out to me. Next big event that's going on right now is our astro readings. As I mentioned earlier, all this energy we have going on, this is a perfect time to take a look at your chart, to look at that one house that may be giving you a little bit of a itch and get some insight. The great price, all you got to do is reserve your spot. That price is only good until July 26th, so grab a spot. There's only 10 spots available. And final, not last, not least, we have our Women's Reiki Circle taking place the third Sunday of the month, July 9th, which is what, this Sunday coming up, I think. Anyway, if you are interested in learning how to do hands-on Reiki, this is the time for you. Go ahead and reserve your spot. July 19th is when we'll meet. You have until the 9th to reserve your spot, which is what, 2 days from now. All the information is there. I look forward to having you on site with me. All that being said, there you have it, guys. There you have it. It is a wild month of July, and there's so much going on for you. Remember to take the time to go within to discover and not be so quick to release the pain. Even though, yes, that's the keys. We want to let go of that pain, but we want to get to the message first before doing so. I look forward to seeing you all in August. Until then, enjoy this energy and have a blessed one. Bye-bye for now.